called Keyonne Brooks. How are you doing, Keyonne? Are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I am fantastic. How are you, Mr. Gordon?
I'm brilliant, thank you. You sound great. Nice and clear. Nice to have that. And whereabouts are you at the moment?
I'm in Los Angeles.
In LA, okay, yeah. How are you doing, all the LA crew? That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Trust you're having some nice weather there.
Oh, you know it. All year round, nearby.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Yeah.
That's why we're so congested here. Everybody's trying to get here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we've got a bit of nice weather in the UK at the moment as well for a change. Nice
you know,
change.
you all have every season sometimes in a day.
We do, yeah. We can have snow, hailstone, and then it can be bright and sunny before we go to bed. That's just how it is, but you get used to it, I guess. So how are you anyway? How's life treating you?
Life has been good. I've been very, very busy with Power Positive Music Movement as of late, but life is good. I mean, when you find your purpose, there's nothing better than that.
Exactly, yeah. The Power of Positive Music, what is that? It's a project that you're obviously heavily involved in.
Yes, sir. Well, it's the organization I feel like was started out of divine intervention, you know, straight from God. It was inspired by him.
Yeah.
And also some of the music on the radio just having so much negativity in it and how it's inspiring society in that way. And that's not a good way to be inspired.
Yeah.
And then also, I always like to tell a story of one of the most pivotal moments for me was when we went to an open mic with some friends, some musician friends of mine, and one of my friends said, I asked her how did she feel after we left, and she said, I felt like I was thoroughly cursed out tonight, and that bothered me.
Yeah.
You know, music isn't supposed to do that. You're supposed to leave feeling better, not worse.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, that was a problem. That was a very pivotal moment in the starting of this organization.
Yeah, because I often have conversations with young artists, particularly young rappers who give me the music, and some of the the reggae artists where they give me the music, and I listen to it and I say, look, I really can't play this. It's got there's bad language in it and its content's not there, and they say, okay, well, I'll go and edit it for you, and it's like, well, it's not going to do it because it's not just the words you use in, it's the content, it's what your track is about, and it's not really what I want to be playing. I don't know what kind of radio stations will be playing that, but obviously some of them do, and I can't understand it.
Yes, because of money. Quick money, whatever the audience is buying, but we have to be smarter than that and know that we're also touching kids' lives and we're affecting families, because there's certain music with certain messages people don't even know what to do with. They're trying to live something they don't even know anything about, but the music is so inspiring to them, and half the time the artists aren't really living the lives that they're talking about.
Yeah. So
you have to just be very cautious of what you say, because you never know who you're impacting.
It's very true.
You know, the little kids in Mississippi would never know about a real gang life or whatever out here in California. It's totally different, but then you portray that as such a likable image when it's really not.
Exactly.
It holds you back in so many ways.
Yeah, because like you say, they portray an image on a lot of the rap videos. They're like in a mansion with a swimming pool and having driving Bentleys and things. But all this has been hired by the company to create this false image of what's going on, and in reality they're probably living in a small one-bedroom apartment, if not a room, if not even sometimes they're sleeping on somebody's couch.
Right. We all hear about the struggling artists, and if they are successful, you see sometimes a lot of them, and what I'm hearing now, I just saw an interview with even Snoop Dogg saying this, is that they were successful and they were able to make so much money, but they didn't think about are we putting these messages out and we're not training the next generation of artists of the real deal of this. Yeah. So sometimes they do come to a reality as they mature and get older, and you're like, wait, I really do have an impact on people's lives. They're trying to dress like me. They're trying to look like me.
Yeah. And
they're trying to sound like me. Yeah. And all of this as they get older is like, that was then, and I should have been more cautious about that. So that's what the educational side of Power Positive Music Movement is all about, is to educate them on the therapeutic effects and how music could actually evoke emotion and all this. It can actually stress you out if you listen to the wrong type. Yeah. What you hear the most will become your perception and or your reality. So if all you're hearing is negative stuff and nobody here for me and it's all about me, you're going to start looking and thinking like that. Looking for those type of things. And that can be very destructive.
Yeah.
Because we're here with 8 billion people, so you're not here by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? And I mean, the music. Some of these people that are creating the music are very, very talented, and then they spoil it for themselves with the slackness. And I get that when somebody's rapping about their life's experience, that that's what they've been through. They've been through bad times and have had harsh treatment and harsh language thrown at them and stuff like that. And that's what they've been brought up with. So I get why they're trying to kind of what do they chatting these lyrics. And they're bringing the swearing because that's their experience. But if they want to go commercial and sell records, then they've got to start looking at it in a different way. And life is not all about the negative experience. You've got to try and turn that around. If you're from a negative background, I know it's hard for people who are from a negative background, but there are some great joyous things in life, and that's really what it'd be nice to hear people singing about and rapping about.
And to focus on it. Focus on some of we all have negativity in our lives, but we don't make it such a part of the forefront of our lives. We have ways to cope with things, and so you have to, if you are someone with a platform, balance it. Yeah. Talk about the reality, but I always believe if you bring it back to something we can all relate to, which is love, then you win. You will always capture your audience because love is something we all want if we don't have it,
Yeah.
So
it's true, and the thing is, with negative language and aggressive approaches, it makes life more difficult. And people say, "Oh, I just can't get a job. I've tried, I can't get a job." And it's like, well, how did you approach the interview? How did you turn up to the interview? And they turn up in the street clothes and they're smelling a BO and, they're talking aggressively, and somebody they think, might have disrespected them, but they probably didn't, but they thought they got disrespected, so they cursed them down and all that kind of stuff. And then they walk out and they wonder why they didn't get the job, and it's all that kind of stuff. But that's on the education side, isn't it?
Exactly. And then we're programming them to be negative like that, and then they don't understand, like, well, this person is popular and they do it, they're successful and all that, but there's the other side to it. That was just a quick money for them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the life that they're living every day, and now it's hindering you in your personal life. Music can also help with the stress and dealing with all of the disease. Basically, when you listen to the right type of music, there will be cortisol levels go down, and that really reduces the stress on your body. So that helps with dealing with a lot of that, with the anxiety. So there's a lot of, on the educational side, there's a lot of benefits to the music, but then the detriment can be just as equal. It depends on which way you decide to go with your music.
And there's also, a lot of these young people they're misled. They see all these rap videos and R&B videos, and everybody appears to be very well off, and they think there's loads of money in this business, and they don't realize these guys that are doing it, they've got talent, of course, but it's all about being in the right place at the right time and having that lucky break. And every single rapper in the world cannot have that lucky break. There's not enough money to pay every single rapper, and that's the thing. And they might have some talent and everything else, and it's all about the lucky break. So you've got to find a way to get a career. Find a career in music if you can. You might not necessarily be a performer. You might end up as an engineer or a producer or, a roadman or something like that. And then you can pursue, because at least you've got an income then, and then you can pursue what you really want to do. But again, these kids need to be educated and shown these things, because they think that they go out and they write a rap song and they go in a studio with a friend and they record it. All of a sudden, they think they're a superstar. And it doesn't work like that. Social media has done it to us. Yeah, it's very true. Everybody can go on live and, I'm a star now. Yeah, it's true. The educational side is very, very important. And what hurts me is seeing families. I've actually had personal conversations with people speaking about, that their relationship with their children has changed because of the ideas that they're getting from music. And, that hurts me. Actually, I had a producer come to me and tell me that, was like, I have a child that's really being, turned against the family because of music, because we're not in that same mind state that the music is turning him to. So everything has to be negative, everything, I'm hard, I'm better than everybody, it's about me. And that's just not reality. And so I'm very much into changing the lives at a young age. That's why I'm targeting the youth and going into schools, because they're going to be the future.
You know, they're hope for the older ones, but the young ones, you want to start very young with them and say, hey, you know, yeah, a lot of this is popular, but you need to be educated on how music can be good and how music can be bad.
Yeah.
So that's very important to me.
Of course, yeah. And peers as well, you know, they need more peers. A lot of people that are successful in the music business, some of them are coming through and going into the schools and trying to help some of the others, going into the streets, going into the prisons and whatnot, trying to help some of the others. But there's a lot of them out there, they just roll with the wealth and go and do what they're doing. And then when they fall flat on their face, they just come back and they want people that they've left behind to start helping them again, you know. And it's not good, really.
Right. Burning bridges. That's why we say build walls. Not building walls. We want to tear down the walls.
There's also the you know, the business side of it, the general business side. You know, the industry has changed over the last, you know, 20 years or so. We've gone from vinyl and CDs to this MP3 stuff. And as you know yourself, when you create an MP3, you are removing majority of the frequencies from the music. Now there is research you're probably aware of out there that's showing that many of the frequencies that are being removed from the music actually are those frequencies that they hit you in your emotional areas of your brain. And there is real genuine medical research to show that this is actually happening. And a lot of the labels now, especially in Europe, are starting to go back to vinyl and CD because they are reading this research. And a lot of the kids, you know, when I speak to young people and when you ask them how much is a CD, they don't even know what a CD is or a vinyl. All right, how much is a piece of music? And they go, it's nothing. Do you pay for music? No, there's loads of sites that can get it free because they think it's free. They think it's free, and there's no emotional connection for them to, you know, when you're growing up and you're buying vinyl and CD, you're hearing all these frequencies and you hear a piece of music that really grabs you emotionally, and you'll pay $100 for that if you can have it. You really want a copy of that, you'll pay $500 to go and see the artist live because they've grasped your emotions. And that's not happening with the MP3 stuff. And so, as I say, vinyl is coming back, but that's another different aspect of the business.
Absolutely. And then when you start children young to learn how to play instrument, and they become passionate about it, it builds passion in them in their lives, and then they're more confident.
Yeah.
You know, all of those things are very important. Like when you're taking art out of school, you have to think about that. That's a great outlet for them.
Yeah.
That's better. I'd rather you know how to play an instrument than know how to shoot a gun. You get where I'm coming from? So it's very important that we do not remove music, because music is so powerful, and the way it'll touch you throughout life, we just can't dismiss that. You know, we all have music and things. And I was talking about this on another interview. You watch the election ads, because there have been so many elections going on now. When they're talking about the opponent, the music is hard or negative and, you know, jarring towards you.
Yeah.
But when they're talking about the person that they're wanting you to vote for, then it's all pleasant and nice. And yeah, you know, life is wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, music is a part of everything, and it's important that we keep it in the schools, and I'm an advocate for that as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to play a piece of music. You know, some positive stuff. I've got some music that you sent me as well that we're going to play, but I'm just going to play one of the pioneers of bringing people together, all-time pioneers, and you're going to recognise this tune straight away. Marvin Gaye, I don't need to tell you who that is, really.
No, I know who that is. I love him. Actually, he's listed on the website. It's one of the songs that people should refer to. What he's saying. Let's just talk to each other. What's going on? Let's have a conversation.
Yeah. And it's very apt. I mean, it's a shame that was written, you know, whatever it was, the 70s, early 70s, and it's kind of still very relevant right now, isn't it?
Very much so. Because the message resonates with people, and that's what timeless music does. Yeah,
of course. Yeah. Tell us a bit about yourself. People that don't know who you are. So it's Keyonne Brooks. Is that the right pronunciation? Keyonne. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah. Well, Keyonne. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way it's spelled, I normally get Keyonne. So
right. Okay.
You did perfect.
Yeah. Okay then.
Yeah. So, well, I'm from Mississippi, and I graduated from Tylertown High School first, and then I graduated from, I was actually the first male in my family to graduate from college, from university. So, and that was the University of Southern Mississippi. And then, as you know, during that time, I was working in the music industry. I was managing clients and deeply inspired and moved by Whitney Houston and her life. I cannot omit that. Yeah. And I actually, we was able to get licensed under the management side of things that I was doing, licensed in UK and licensed in Japan. So we started traveling, did UK tour, traveled all over the United States. And then after graduation, I moved to Los Angeles, California, and I've been here ever since and doing events like pre-Grammy parties at the Beverly Hills Hotel and working closely with Patty Howard. I did some work with Cy Smith. So been pretty busy since being in California. And then we started Power Positive Music Movement last year, August 15th we launched.
So remind us again what the project is exactly and how people may want to get involved with it.
Okay, well, Power Positive Music Movement, we have 3 goals. One is grassroots lobbying against the FCC and the regulations of what content they're allowed to be played over the airways. Yeah. Second is implementing music programs in schools that do not have them. And as a start, we're already working with musicians to start visiting schools around the LAUSD area and go in and speak to the students, have music time, have professional musicians in there with them, and we educate the students on music, and then they have someone that's been successful in music also to back us up. And then third thing is the Power Positive Music Movement Festival that we're working on right now, and it's going to be very exciting because we're getting a lot of support from people. This is a much needed cause. Yeah. And for people that want to get involved, you can go to our website, which is powerpositivemusicmovement.org, or you can add us on any social media site with the it's at POPMM Movement. So it's Power of Positive Music Movement. So you would just put POPM Movement. And you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Okay. All right then. So how easy is it for people, say there's a school that's listening right now and they want to get involved and they want you to come and help them out. What kind of things would you be able to provide and help them with?
Well, right now we're doing the actual music hours at the school. We haven't gotten to the point to where we can do actually implementing the programs. Yeah. So all they would have to do if they wanted me there or any musician is actually just tell us where the school is, and we can work out those details. And I would just be open to any type of education for students. So it doesn't matter the distance or anything like that. Yeah. We have to touch the lives of any child that we can, and that's our goal.
Yeah. So what kind of things do you kind of do with the students once you're there involved with them?
Okay, I can tell you a little bit about the program.
Yeah.
One thing we do, well, when I was at LA Film School, it was mostly about Whitney Houston, so I told them about how Whitney inspired me and all this type of stuff, but also how them as upcoming musicians and songwriters and artists, how to use music in a positive way to impact people, such as, like we was talking about earlier, the therapeutic value, therapy with children that have ADHD and also autism. And then the health part of it, where people with heart rates are able to have their heart rates reduced, or high blood pressure is reduced. So we talk about the therapeutic side of things, the health side of things, and how music can help you with family. So those are the 3 key things we want to touch on whenever we're speaking to the students, because then they will have a better understanding of how universal music really is. And then when you see with society, you think about when people, and Miss Patty made this comment on our interview, is when you hear people singing together in unison in a concert, they're not worried about what color you are. All biases are gone.
Yeah.
They don't care about how you look. We just love this song. We love the message, and we're all on one accord in that moment. That is the power of music.
Yeah, and it's very true. Yeah, it's very, very powerful music. There's nothing better than actually seeing music live. When I was a small child in infant school, they brought an orchestra and violins and strings and the whole thing, and it just totally blew me away. When you hear music live, it's got a completely different impact than on record or on the radio or whatever.
Yeah. It's true.
And vocals as well. When you hear somebody sing who can really sing it, again, that's mind blowing when you see it face to face. And I'm sure these youths as well with the rappers, when they see an accomplished rapper spitting lyrics and it's just straight off the top of the head, and it really takes some talent to do that.
Right. I would agree with that. But how you use it, you can have the platform, but how you use it is more important.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, I got some more music now. One of the artists you mentioned to me was Denise Williams as well. That's in part of the project.
Right. Let me say this. She's been a huge supporter of Power Positive Music Movement. As soon as she heard about this, she was like, "What do you need? I'll do you the quote." She was all on board. There was no questions asked as far as like having her support, like what she was getting from it. This really resonated with her, so that meant a lot to me, being a 4-time Grammy Award winner and having multiple number ones.
Exactly. Yeah. And it'd be nice to get other major artists around the globe as well that are big in different countries to get involved, because that'd be fantastic.
Absolutely.
I've actually got a remix of a Denise Williams track on the turntable now. It's quite a rare remix. I don't know whether it's actually been released, but it was kind of held back a little bit. You may or may not have heard it before, but this is one of the big tunes. I'm sure you'll know this one well.
Okay.
Freshened up version of that Denise Williams track. Do you like that one? Do you like that version?
I love it.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It's a great track, though. Great track. It's just an amazing voice, that lady.
I'm telling you, one of the most unique voices I've heard.
Definitely. And she can just scream those notes, can't she? She can just get so high up there.
And still can.
Yeah.
She just come off the Dave Cos cruise and still can go.
Yeah, that's amazing. So is she doing any concerts? Is she going to be coming to the UK? Because we definitely love to see Denise in the UK.
I actually do not know. Yeah. I have no idea. I do know she just come off the Dave Cos cruise with Freddie Jackson and Mr. Dave Cos.
Yeah.
So that's the last I've seen from her.
And there's some other notable names involved, isn't there? Like Tavares is one of them.
We have quite a few. We have Marilyn Martin. We have Gerald Albright.
Yeah.
We have Donald Lawrence. Donald Taylor with the LA Mass Choir.
Yeah.
One that I really loved was Mr. Steve Berry. He was just, not only was he free with his words, but he was very free with his finances. He even wrote a check for the organization. He was, and I want to say this organization is a 501c3 tax exempt organization. So any funds that are donated will be a tax write-off. So that was very inspiring to me. When he first heard about it, he was like, "Oh no, this is something that has to happen," and even sent us a video. Yeah. So a shout out to Mr. Steve Berry. He's a fantastic guy.
Yeah. Because obviously it is the majority of musicians that are creating the kind of music for inspiration, and it is kind of a minority, but it does seem to be the younger people that are creating these slack, for want of a better word, slack lyric records, and like we were saying before, their life's experiences, they must have had good life experiences, they must have had some love in the life, to be able to create, because that kind of seems to be the biggest selling records in all time in history are about love.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that lets you know it's a very universal message.
Yeah, exactly. And it also tells you where the money's at, in the business, in the music business. That's where the money's at. People like to hear about, because if you're a clever writer, you can write about your own experiences, but in a way that other people can relate to them, and that's when they're going to go out and buy the record.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I guess some of the more negative ones that have been big hits, it's probably because of that kind of gangster thing. Everyone wants to be a bad boy or a bad girl and gangster, so they start playing the gangster. Everyone wants to be a bad man kind of thing. They think if they play the gangster music, then everybody will think they're a bad man as well. But half the rappers that create this bad man music, for want of a better description, are actually very decent, nice people. To them it's just a business.
Right. But it's more than just a business. It's more than the business when it's going out to millions of people. And even your reach, you don't even understand the extent of your reach because it's so broad and it's so many people. But there are a few things in music that I think we need to speak about, and that's sex, violence, and being so disrespectful. They want to harp on sex. Yeah. But now you have sex leading to sexual assaults. You have sex also leading to diseases. And then your life changes due to sex with children. Yeah. So, you know, they don't talk about that side. It's just the glory. So, you know, and then violence. Yeah. We're not talking about jail time. We're not talking about that record being messed up, not being able to get a good job. Yeah. You know, all of this is affecting people, and you're trying to live something based on a one-sided view without the proper education, you know, to go with it.
Yeah. You know, I've listened to some records from artists, and when I'm listening to what they're talking about, I'm thinking to myself, this guy is pretty disturbed, you know, mentally disturbed, and this guy definitely, you know, if this is true, that what he's written, he needs some psychological help, do you know? And women don't find it, you know, if you speak to women, I would be surprised if any woman said that they love hearing men talking about them in a disrespectful way. You know,
and that's something funny you should say that, because you know the song Maria Maria by Carlos Santana and the Project GMB.
Yeah, a big track that as well.
That, yes, they support us. Product GMB support us, and they actually did an interview when their song was redone by Rihanna, DJ Khaled, and I can't remember the other guys, Bryson Tiller. When they redid the song, he said the Product GMB were speaking on the message different. They are happy that their rhythm and all that, and that their song got introduced to a new crowd, but the message was totally changed. And he was like, we were all about uplifting women and all this type of stuff, and stop the violence, stop the looting and the shooting and all that type of stuff. And now we're talking about a girl. Now we're objectifying a female. And he was like, that wasn't the intent with this song. Yeah. You know, and I think that's powerful.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah, it is. It's crazy how it's turned around. And I mean, out there you've got different kinds of people in society. You know, you've got the gold diggers, you know, that are just about the money. And there's a lot of women out there. I've seen recently some videos on YouTube about some team of guys have been pretending, you know, they're hiring a Ferrari and stuff, and then they're pretending they're poor and chatting up a young lady, and the young lady doesn't want to know, and then they go on, oh, actually, you know, I've got this Ferrari or whatever, and then the girl suddenly starts gold digging, you know, she wants to have a date with the guy and all that, and it's just,
oh yeah,
yeah, and it just, you know, it's all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of people out there that are so easily led, and you know, they're just, it's about money and cars and nice things, and they don't realize that they're just bringing themselves into abuse, because a lot of these guys with these expensive cars on Carnival Day and on, you know, there's a big event, Festival Day, a lot of these guys with these cars have hired them for the day. They've saved up the whole year and they've hired this car for the day, and then you get in the car and you don't know what kind of person this guy is, but it's not his car. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. You know, it's probably his life savings gone into that holiday.
Right. You look at it more instead of looking at everything materialism and stuff like that, you would look at more spiritual stuff and look at who the person is. I think that's more important.
Of course. I mean, the way to look at it is that somebody who can afford that kind of a vehicle, who's got that kind of money and that kind of lifestyle, he doesn't need to be cruising the streets looking for a woman. You know, he's got women throwing them at him anyway. You know, so it just doesn't make sense. It's just a shame that some of these women are drawn into that, and like you say, this education that you want to provide, hopefully will get through to them, and that, you know, you don't need a man with a Ferrari or, you know, Gucci watch. You need a man who's going to respect you and look after you, and a man who's got your back, you know, and that's the kind of stuff they should be writing about.
Yep, I totally agree with that.
How do people communicate with you on that subject? I mean, is there kind of any advice? Because I'm sure that along the way you've met young people that are having, you know, some difficulties with their lives. You know, are you able to put them in contact with people that can help them in other ways?
I have been instrumental in connecting artists just because of my background in music. This company isn't so much of a outsourcing for musicians, but it is a place where they can get some education, and if we I guess if that's a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
If we can get a team of people that would want to be dedicated to artists and, kind of mentoring them or steering them in the right way, that would actually be fantastic. But right now, we've been focused on the school visits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To do starting on I guess you could say, an entry level, and then we'll build to that type of stuff.
Yeah, because there are, there's also the psychological side as well. Some of these kids are, they've been disturbed because they've, had abuse while they're growing up and whatnot, and they might need a different kind of help. So it's a kind of a whole.
Oh, you're talking about the therapeutic side.
Yeah, there's a whole.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So
I got what you're saying. So.
Yeah, so there's a whole, there's a lot of stuff that can be brought into a project like this to help young people in many different ways.
And we're all open to expansion, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Okay, I'm going to play some more. You sent me a track from Chubby Tavares, which we're going to spin you right now. I like this track. Tell us a bit about this and how they got involved.
Well, it's actually Mr. Preston Glass, who's the writer of the song and the producer. He sent me that. Yeah. Once I told him about the opportunity, but I reached out to him and my mentor David Nathan are actually close, and he was all on board for it. He was very nice to me, and when I told him about this opportunity, he was like, "Oh, absolutely, I got some." He's always working, and all his music, still to the day, as you can see from this track, still making fantastic music. And Miss Patty Brooks, to have her on it as well, that's fantastic. But that's how I got it, was from Mr. Preston.
Yeah, it's a great track. Love this track. Let's give the listeners a first ear-in on this one. So it's Chubby Tavares. Check this out.
Your music is healing. Oh, how I love the feeling. Music is healing.
As Music is Healing, the amazing ride mix. Chubby Tavares. Is that track available right now? Can people buy that?
It actually just come out Tuesday, from my understanding. So yes, sir, it's available.
Okay, that's brilliant. Yeah. So
weekend exclusive.
Okay, excellent. Who did they ask for? When they buy it, did they just ask for Chubby Tavares, or did they ask for somebody else?
Right. Yes, sir. Either him, or you can Google. You can put in Patty Brooks. She's featured on it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Patty Brooks and Chubby Tavares. There's also another lady, Christine. Is it Christine Gordon, who's got a track out?
It's Christine Gordon. Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell us a bit about Christine.
Well, first of all, I just want to say Christine is a sweetheart. She contacted us. She had found out about Power Positive Music Movement, and she wrote us this beautiful quote, basically saying how it touched her because of what her music had always been about.
Yeah.
And she's done a lot of work in St. Bart's and also with Nile Rodgers and stuff like that, being a songwriter. So she's had a lot of success in songwriting. And then she sent us this track, and this is Tidal Wave, which I love the message in this.
Yeah, beautiful track this. Christine Gordon was before that. Got Keyonne Brooks live with us on the show today. Talking about some positive movements in the music, aren't we, today?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you like the Gina Carey? It's a beautiful track, that, isn't it?
I do. Yes, sir.
She's got a nice voice, Gina. Quite awesome. Very different. Very different.
Christine said to tell you she's crying crocodile tears.
Oh, well, nice one. Well, I'm glad you're happy, Christine. It's a great track, and it's, as you can hear, it works brilliantly on the radio for sure. And we'll be rotating that on Kick FM Radio without a doubt, and I'm sure we'll get KYBN Radio to program that in as well and get them playing it in California. So hopefully we'll be able to get that track right up there so everybody knows your name. Christine Gordon. It's a fabulous track though, isn't it? Is Christine, is she acoustic guitar? Does she play herself?
I don't know. I don't actually know a lot about Christine. I met her strictly through her contacting us.
Okay,
and
we'll have to get her on the show and have a chat with her as well at some point. So how far are you with your project now? Is it all up and running and And obviously you're gaining momentum with all the artists that are trying to get involved.
We are in the PR stage right now. We've been so blessed through a few large companies such as Google and Microsoft have really taken us to another level. So right now I'm actually in a program with the state of California with outlining everything about going into the schools. So we have the IRS side covered. We have the state, all of our state information taken care of now. We have to go through all that vetting, and now we're ready to proceed in the fall with going into the schools and a few other community events that we'll be doing in town. But the schools are our biggest priority right now because we'll get to touch most people.
Yeah.
Most
So
youth.
what's the easiest way for a school to contact you if they're interested in getting involved?
If they write us on our website, or they can go to, they can email us at info@powerpositivemusicmovement.org, or they can even reach out to us on Facebook through our Facebook fan page, or business page rather, at Power Positive Music Movement.
Yeah. Okay. We've got some more music as well that you sent me from Box Queen, Law of Attraction.
She's had Music Soul Child, and her name, she goes by Box Talk Queen.
Okay, it's interesting. It's an interesting name, that for sure. Box Queen, Talk Box Queen. Okay, well we'll give that a spin now because it's interesting. And Music Soul Child is featured on this as well, I believe.
Yes, sir.
It's the law of attraction. The law of attraction.
It's a great track. That. Well, I do like Music Soul Child, so I guess I'm a bit biased, but it is a great track, isn't it?
It is fantastic. I love Natasha too. I love her attitude. She's very positive.
Yeah.
And I think she surrounds herself with positive people. That's another great thing. She has a great circle.
It's very important, that, isn't it, to surround yourself with the right people. There's a lot of negative people out there that want to bring you down. A lot of backstabbing, especially in the music business, and it's a shame, really. I don't know why people don't lift each other up, and I mean, many people do, obviously, many people do lift each other up, but there are circles that just want to bring you down, and obviously it's spotting them soon enough, isn't it? Spotting them early enough in your career so they can't pull you back.
Right.
Yeah,
so that actually doesn't hurt as much when it shows its face.
Exactly.
It will eventually show its face.
And I guess what you guys are doing, that's part of the plan, that you're going to be helping them to be able to learn about that and watch out for that kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely. You have to. One of the main things that is very important to me is about community. You just want people to be able to be of resource to one another.
Yeah.
If I need you for one thing, you can help me in an area, and I can help you in an area, because none of us know it all. Yeah. So it's better to be, in unison than everybody going against one another.
It's very true, yeah. So, what are you up to? You manage artists. You're still managing artists.
I am not doing management at this point, but there is something that I will be doing that's outside of this with my LLC. But it will not be managing artists full time. But it will be helping artists in a major way. Actually, it's something that I can't speak about too much.
Yeah.
My lawyer is restricting me from talking about it, but it's going to be something new to them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to find out more about that as well. Yeah, that sounds fabulous. It's what it's all about, isn't it? Keeping the music business moving and rolling in a positive way.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. That you just said it.
Yeah.
The positive aspect.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it should be as well. It's always got to be positive and supporting people. I'll support talent. I'll always support talent on the show, and I'll always encourage other people. And some artists send me tracks, new artists, and they say, "Can you send this to some of your other DJs that on other radio stations?" And I'm happy to do that for them. If it's talent, if it's garbage, I'm not going to play it and I'm not going to support it. So it's about just because I know you, or just because everybody says that you're fantastic, if you've not got any talent, then it's not going to work for you.
That's another thing that I think is very important, what you just said.
Yeah.
As the host of this show, you can pick and choose what material you play and what you don't.
Yeah.
So for the artists that are wanting to have a bigger or more universal message, that's another thing. Positivity would resonate with people such as yourself, rather than that negative stuff. So you would have a broader base, by just doing positive music.
Yeah, well, exactly, yeah. And the thing is, if they want to break into the UK, you know, a lot of people are already aware that I've got a lot of connections in the UK, and if the music is quality and you know, it's going in the right direction, I can certainly introduce people to, you know, labels and distributors and, you know, potential tour managers and promoters and all that kind of stuff that could help them with their career. But if, you know, if they're sending me an unfinished demo and then think I'm going to play it, you know, you've got to be the top of your game, because you're competing with everybody else who are at the top of the game. So you have to be at the same level, or nobody's going to take any notice. No matter how talented you are, if your product is not of high marketable and broadcastable quality, it won't get played.
Absolutely. And I think we should encourage more programmers and stuff to only play music with messages that they would really support, not just about getting the more listeners to the station. Exactly. I think that's something we should commend you on.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Because, of course, I know your reach. Yeah. I know your reach.
Yeah, yeah, and that's it, and that's what it's about. But I think it shows as well, you know, because we publish figures on a page called promadi.com. You can actually, it's great for artists to go on there, because you can actually network with other artists as well. But your figures will be published if you're an artist and you've got a new single out and you're getting radio play. You want people to know that you're getting this mass radio play, because there's potential that a label might sign you up, a major might sign you up if they can see your figures. And Promadi will publish your figures. If you're on 10 radio stations on rotation, then you've probably got millions of people listening to your music, and that's the kind of stuff that people need. So Promadi is a great site, and saying it publishes my figures as well, so people can see that, you know, that there are a lot of people listening around the globe. But it also demonstrates that there is a lot of people out in the world that appreciate, you know, quality, positive music. You know, because we wouldn't have so many listeners in a consistent daily manner if they didn't like what we were doing.
Absolutely.
But remind us again, because time is pushing on, remind us again of how people will be able to communicate with you, and just tell us a little about just a brief of the project, what it's called, and everything else again.
All right. Well, this is Power Positive Music Movement, and we're all about facilitating a positive change in the music industry through opportunities, awareness, and education. You can reach us at our website, which is powerofpositivemusicmovement.org. You can also reach us on social media at POPM Movement. And you can email us at info@powerofpositivemusicmovement.org. So make sure you put .org at the end, not .com.
Okay.
And you can reach us, and we guarantee we'll respond.
Well, it's great having you on the show, and I'm sure you've got a busy day ahead of you, lots to do, because it's early morning for you, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's late.
Day's just getting started. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and finally we've met, and spoke finally properly, rather than just the odd email here and there.
Right. Yes, sir. Well, it was an absolute pleasure, and I thank you so much for having me on your platform.
You're very welcome. I mean, anytime you've got something new popping up, just feel free to give me a shout, because we can easily get you on the show anytime. And any of the artists as well, Music Soul Child and Tavares and Denise, and anybody that wants to jump on the show, they're all welcome to do so. We just let anybody jump on if they're positive. If they've got a positive message, then they're all welcome.
Amen. Yes, sir. And I will definitely tell them that.
Yeah, okay. And it's been a pleasure, and thanks again for joining us today, and we'll definitely catch up very soon. And as I say, any new music you've got, just send it through to me, and we'll get it some airplay.
Amen. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, have a great one.
You too. It's a pleasure and honour talking to you, as always.
Yes, sir. You as well.
Thank you. Nice piece of music for you now. Something new again. We do like to play the new music. This is a guy called John Reed. This is a fabulous tune, this one. It's called All Night Long. Nice happy party tune. So get up off your chairs, or if you're in the office, just shut the door so the boss can't see, and you can have a party, a little boogie to this one.